Mike Pachelli here. Thanks for tuning in. For this lesson, I'll be talking about the Beatles recording of I Want to Be Your Man that they did in September and October of 1963. The song was written by John and Paul, especially for Ringo to sing, because Ringo's fans were kind of really wanting him to be featured during their live performances. It was inspired by the Shirelle song Boys and also by a song called Fortune Teller that was written by Benny Spellman. It's again unique writing in that the verses are 17 measures long, the chorus is 8 measures long, and the solo is 12 measures long. In September of 1963, John Lennon read a phrase in a newspaper that said, "I want to be your man." So Paul later took that phrase and wrote some verses for Ringo to sing. John and Paul were invited to a Rolling Stones rehearsal. The Stones were looking for commercial songs to record, and John and Paul said they had a song that would fit what the Stones were doing, but it didn't have a bridge. So at that rehearsal, John and Paul go into the corner and finish off the song by creating a chorus. And about that, John has said, "I Want to Be Your Man was a kind of lick Paul had. We were taken down to meet the Stones at the club where they were playing. They wanted a song, and we went to see what kind of stuff they did. Paul just had this bit, and we needed another verse or something. We sort of played it roughly to them, and they said, 'Yeah, okay, that's our style.' So Paul and I just went off in the corner and finished the song off. We came back, and that's how Mick and Keith got inspired to write. It was a throwaway. That shows how much importance we put on it. We weren't going to give them anything great, right?" The Rolling Stones recorded I Want to Be Your Man on October 7th, 1963, and it was their first British hit. September 11th, the Beatles are at EMI Studio 2, and they try one take of I Want to Be Your Man, but they're still learning the song, so it's not usable. September 12th, they do 6 takes, playing and singing live, and Lennon highlights the Bo Diddley groove by adding tremolo to his guitar throughout. They take 2 of the 6 takes and splice it together to get the final rhythm track. On September 30th, with the Beatles on holiday, George Martin sneaks into the studio and overdubs a Hammond organ part. October 3rd, Ringo double tracks his lead vocal, and he also adds maracas. And then on October 23rd, Ringo back in the studio overdubs tambourine, and the song's tracks are finished and actually mixed that very night. It was played a few times on BBC radio and British and French TV, and in concert periodically, all the way to their final show on August 29th at Candlestick Park. I Want to Be Your Man was released on the With the Beatles album in the UK on November 22nd, 1963, and in America on the Meet the Beatles album on January 20th, 1964. So that's the backstory. Let's get started. John is playing his Rickenbacker 325 on I Want to Be Your Man, and he has his amp on a tremolo setting. But it's funny, on those old Vox amps, it actually says it's on the vibrato setting to get a tremolo sound. If you don't know, tremolo is a steady increase or decrease in volume, and vibrato is a steady increase or decrease of pitch. But nevertheless, John is sort of going for the Bo Diddley kind of groove, you know, But John would never do a rhythm like that over and over again, so he's way more creative. But what's unfortunate is when George Martin overdubs the Hammond part, he kind of does like the tequila groove, you know. And those two kind of mismatch. So what John was trying to do and what George Martin thought it should be are two different things, and it's kind of a really weird cluster. I'll do my sound-alike and highlight what John intended. Okay, so to play the song, on the verses you'll just need an E7 and a B7. All right, like that. So, ever the creative guy, he's getting that sound, the sound, and probably why George Martin, misinterpreted, he's getting the E to the D sound, but John is getting it here, like, but all on the E7 chord. So you play the E7 chord, and then you just play to the G string to get the D. So you're getting it, but you play the chord, and then you play it again just to the 3rd string, or maybe pick up that 1st finger so you don't hear the E. So you do hear the, but the rhythms are way more creative. So on a verse, let me just first play you the verse in time. I have a little help. It's around 200 beats per minute. A verse is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me show you that slow. So slower, the verses are like this. 3, 4. Way more creative than just. On the choruses, you'll need these chords: an F sharp, B7, an E, a C sharp 7, and at the very end, the first time, an E7, just the low strings. And it's a simpler rhythm on the chorus. It's just 1, 2, 3, and. So chorus is fun to play though, right? During the solo, John is just playing off an E7, E and an E7 on the low 4 strings, and very slowly the rhythm is like this. That's basically just repeated 3 times. So in tempo, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And so forth. Now, during the next verse, this would be like verse 3, because verse 1 and 2 are pretty much exactly the same. On verse 3, he's changing it up a little bit, and he's playing a different rhythm. The rhythm he's playing is like this. He goes 3, 4. Got that? Want me to do it in time for you so you can feel it right? I will. Verse 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Close anyhow. Thanks. All right, and then the last chorus is just, again, same chords, same rhythm as before. Very slowly, I'll play it for you. It's like this. On that one, he just hits the low 3 strings. Right. And then for the fade out, the rhythm is like this. It's again just an E7 chord. So when you're playing a song, you just try to get between the E sound and the D sound, you know. charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com will make it clearer. Then I can say it or play it, but that's what John did on I Want to Be Your Man. George Harrison is playing his Country Gentleman on I Want to Be Your Man, and he's staying a lot closer to that tequila kind of groove. He starts off with just a little lick that goes, and then for the most part, he's getting, just between that E and the D, the kind of the sound. But play like an E chord, just thinking about the 6th, 5th, and 4th string, and then lift up that E to a D. So, I guess in time is the best way to hear it. On a verse, he plays like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. And it's kind of muted too, so you might want to palm mute right in front of your bridge. Very slowly. To hear that would be 3, 4. He does get to B, John doesn't. Okay, then on the bridge, he just does a chromatic thing from F sharp down, like this. Then chromatic from E down. Repeat from the F sharp. And the first time he doesn't play anything. But the second time that happens, he plays, so in time, help me out again, that part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If you really want to get that exactly, he only slurs on the very first time. The rest of them are all picked. I like to slur all of those, and these are slurred. Okay? Then what happens next? Oh, the solo happens. So you got to get a brighter sound. And it's very simple. Let me play the solo. Let's do it in time first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Again, in order to get it right, there's just a couple of slides that you have to do. So you just basically some, just pentatonic stuff. A little quarter bend at the beginning. So it's on beat 2, 1. Something like that. Verse 3, slightly different rhythm. He's playing like this. He's going, he always accenting on the second measure of that D note. And then back into the chorus. 1. And on the way out, Same kind of with that D form, and he simply plays 1. And that's what he's doing all the way out to the fade. Charts and tabs will make it clearer than I can say it or play it, but that's George's part. I put it together in a sound-alike, and I'm doing a guitar mix, so you can really hear what John intended with his tremolo sound combined with George's guitar. So have a look at this.
I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. Love you like no other, baby. Like no other can. Love you like no other, baby. Like no other can. I wanna be your man. 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 Tell me that you love me, baby. Let me understand. Tell me that you love me, baby. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. 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 I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. Love you like no other, baby. Like no other can. Love you like no other, baby. Like no other can. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man.
Well, now you've seen and heard how cool the syncopation was between John and George's guitars. I suggest you download the charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com, learn both parts, play along with my sound-alike, and you'll get it just like the Beatles intended. And I really appreciate your consideration in supporting my work that way. So have fun playing this great old song, and until next time, I'm Mike Pachelli. Thanks for hanging out with me.